everyone. We have already discussed inverse in our previous classes. Now this is our 16th class of relation and function, and we are discussing our first theorem, that h over g over f equal to h over g over f or not. Check your page number in your textbook. It is 16 on page number 16. So what is the proof of it? It's very simple. H over g over f of x, let's consider it. So we can write h over g of fx, right? So now what we have to do? We have to combine this two term. So we are writing g over f of fx. This way we can write. So h of g of fx. Now what to do? Combine g over h over f, because we have just splitted from this term of x. So what is our first theorem? It is your associative law only, and in previous question also, in last lecture, we have discussed this theorem also, but we have discussed with example. Here we have proved it. Now as far as exam concerned, use of theorem is there. No one will ask you to prove the theorems. So just go through the proper proof, but no need to do it by heart. Now check your 27th question. We have given function f 1, 2, 3 to a, b, c, and another function g is given a, b, c to apple, then ball, and third is cat. This way. Now function is defined as f of 1 equal to a, f of 2 equal to b, f of 3 equal to c. Similarly, g of a equal to apple, g of b equal to ball, and g of c as a cat. This way function is mentioned. Now what you have to show that f, g and g over f are invertible. Find out f inverse, g over f inverse, and one more thing you have to show, that is g over f of inverse equal to f inverse over g inverse. We have to prove all these things. So let's start with our first part, that first function f is invertible or not. Let's do it. First f. So what is the function is given? F of 1 equal to a. So when you write its inverse, f inverse a equal to 1. Similarly, f of 2 is given b. So f inverse b will be 2. And third thing, f of 3 equal to c. So f inverse c equal to 3. That is our first thing. What we have written, that is inverse of f. Now let's start inverse of g. So g of a equal to apple. So how can you write g inverse of apple equal to a? Similarly, g of b equal to ball. So g inverse ball equal to, you can write b, and third thing c equal to cat. So g inverse cat equal to c. So what you get? Inverse of f and inverse of g. But one more thing is given. What you have to prove? You have to find g over f also, then f inverse over g inverse, and g over f inverse both are same. So first we have to find that also. You have to remember this, and then we find first g over f. I just keep inverse this side because we need some space. So what is your g over f of x? So we can write g of fx. Okay, so what is your first fx? First g over f of, we have to start with f. So f of 1. So g of f of 1. So g of, what is f of 1? F of 1 we have a. And what is your g of a? For g of a, apple. So what you get as an order pair for g over f? G over f of 1. equal to A double PLE, apple. Similar way, now let's come to the second 2. F of 2, now check what is your F of 2, B. So here B. For G of B, what is our function? Ball. So here we can write G over F of 2 equal to ball. Now let's come to the third 3. Here also 3, so here C. And for C, what is our function? Cat. So G over F of 3 equal to cat. Okay, now if we want to write the inverse of it, just we use the another color. So let's check. G over F of apple. This is G over F inverse equal to 1. Similarly, G over F inverse of ball equal to 2. And third, G over F inverse of cat equal to 3. Right? Now what you get these things, that only your answer for F inverse over G inverse, then only you can say that both are same. Okay, so let's start with F inverse over G inverse of X. So you can write F inverse over G inverse X, right? So F inverse, let's start with G inverse. What is your G inverse? G inverse of apple equal to, so we can write G inverse apple first. Okay, so what is it? F inverse for apple, what is answer? A. So we can write F inverse A. Now what is F inverse A? It is 1. So check, first we have proof for apple 1, and here also you check for apple, answer is 1. Clear? Similar way second. Now on place of apple, what you can take? Second is ball. Okay, so for ball what we get? B, and F inverse B is your 2. So check, G over F inverse of ball equal to 2. That is our second answer. Now let's prove for third. Third one is cat. Okay, so for cat here it is C, and for C what is our answer? 3. Right? So that is only your G over F inverse cat equal to 3. So what we have decided from these two results, that F inverse over G inverse equal to G over F inverse. I explain you this is one more time to make it more clear to you, because this is the important question as far as exam concern also. So let's write it again. We have all these terms, with that term only I write its inverse. F inverse A equal to 1, F inverse B equal to 2, and F inverse C equal to 3. Same way, G inverse apple equal to A, G inverse ball equal to B, and G inverse cat equal to C. Okay, we have all these things. Now what we have to do? We have to find G over F of X. So G of Fx, and that is G of, what is your Fx here? For F of 1 it is A, and for G of A it is apple. So what I have written, this is for G over F. So when I write G over F of inverse for apple, what I have to write? Apple equal to 1. Similarly, we have to start with second. So G over F of 2. So G of F of 2. What is your F of 2? Check here. F of 2 is B, and for G of B it is ball. So when you write inverse, G over F of inverse for ball, just we have to shuffle the terms. We know it. Here 1. So we have taken here and apple here. Similar way third one, G over F of 3. So G of F of 3. And for f of 3, what we have given? F of 3 is C. And what is your g of C? Cat. So, we are getting g over f inverse cat equal to 3. So, now we have proved this one. Now, let us come to the f inverse over g inverse of x first. So, f inverse over g inverse x first. So, what is your f inverse? G inverse we have to start with. So, first for apple, g inverse apple. What do you get? F inverse for apple, what do we have? A. And what is your f inverse A? F inverse A is 1. So, what do you get? For f inverse over g inverse for apple, we are getting 1. Check it. G over f inverse apple equal to 1, and here also f inverse, that is we get 1 only. So, from that you can say your first part is proved. Now, let us come to the second part. What is our second part? F over g inverse of x. So, f inverse over g inverse. Now, see, first we have taken apple, so second will be ball. So, what is your answer for it? G inverse ball is B, and f inverse B will be 2. So, we can write f inverse B equal to 2. So, what is it? For ball we are getting 2, and here also for ball we have 2. And now last third one, f inverse over g inverse of third one is cat. So, f inverse g inverse cat, what is it? G inverse cat is C, and f inverse C will be 3. Check it. Here also for cat we get C. So, from this we have derived this result that g over f inverse equal to f inverse over g inverse. Okay. Now, we continue with our next part. We have to prove the same as a theorem. Just now we have proved it as a sum. With example we have proved it. Now we have to prove this as a theorem. Your next theorem. What is your theorem is given that function from x to y and another function from y to z. It's invertible, and you have to prove g over f inverse equal to f inverse over g inverse. And we will prove by the same way how we have proved in our inverse concept, that we will use that it is identity. Or you can use the another result, and that is, what is it? G over f over, both one we will prove, g over f inverse over g inverse equal to identity, this way. So, both the result shows that what we have used the concept of composition of a function. If we combine these two and if you get identity, then you can say both are inverse of each other. Same thing we have taken here also and here also. Okay, let us start the proof of first part. What is it? F inverse over G inverse. Now I split this over G over F. What we have taken these two together. Why I have taken these two together? Because we have result function and its inverse, it shows identity. So, we are using this concept of identity function and we have taken combination of these two. So, we can take f inverse over identity over f. What is the meaning of it? If you combine any function with identity, you get the same function. So, f inverse over f of x. So, it is x only, or if you will not take x, then also we get the same way, but we are generally using x with it. So, f over, this is your identity of x, where you can say with So you can say it is identity function. Same concept let's apply here. G over F over F inverse over G inverse, to combine these two together, right? So what do you get? G over identity over G inverse X. Now you know G over identity is G only. Here we have to take, when we are taking G means Y. So identity over Y. So it is equal to identity. So from both you can get one idea that both are the inverse of each other. Remember this, whenever we are finding inverse of composite function, G over F inverse means F inverse over G inverse, it will be changed. Same way, suppose F over G inverse you are writing, so G inverse over F inverse you will get. This is the main thing. Okay, this is your theorem number 2. I think now inverse is more clear to you. Now after that theorem, our last example, solve some 28 number. We discuss it. What is your 28th example? S is given 1, 2, 3. You have to determine the function f from S to S. Below have the inverse function. First one is given f 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3. Second question is given for f 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 1. And for third one given that 1, 3, 3, 2 and 2, 1. Now here you have given function from S to S, means 1, 2, 3 to 1, 2, 3 only given, and these 3 questions you have to check inverse will exist or not. And for that, what you have to check first? For inverse we know one thing, that the function must be 1, 1 and on 2, then only you can find inverse. Now let's check. This is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Your first function is given 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So what is the meaning of it? If we make a, okay, both one as 1, 2, 3, with 1, 2, 3 associated term is same, means single question single answer. So it is 1, 1 function. Now check what is your codomain 1, 2, 3 and what is our range? It is again 1, 2, 3. So range and codomain both are same. What is the meaning of it? If range and codomain both are same, you can say it is onto also. So if function is bijective, bijective means what? Its inverse will exist. So here what you can write as an inverse? Inverse of 1 is 1 only, inverse of 2 is 2 only and inverse of 3 is 3 only. So here inverses exist, but the same function f only inverse of f itself. Okay, let's come to the second question. Check is it 1, 1 or not? With 1, 2, let's make a pair 1, 2 and 3. And here 1, 2 and 3. With 1 associated is 2. With 2 associated 1 and with 3 also 1. So check for two separate questions, same answer. So this function is many 1. Many 1 means if it is not 1, 1, its inverse will not exist. So over. Now third, check 1, 1 or not. So for 1, 1 what we have to check again? Same way 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3. With 1, 3. With 3, 2. And with 2, 1. Single question, single answer. So function is 1, 1. Now check range 3, 2 and 1. And your codomain also 1, 2, 3. So it is on 2 also. Okay, so for third question also inverse will exist. But in first question number itself repeated again. So we can say inverse itself, but here it is not so. So we have to write inverse of it for third one. So f inverse, see first f of 1 is 3 given, f of 3 is 2 given, and f of 2 is 1 given. So what you can write as inverse? F inverse 3 is 1, f inverse 2 is 3, and f inverse 1 is 2. This is the inverse. So for inverse, which order pair you can write? F inverse as a 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2. This is the inverse of it. So we have already completed all the solved questions, and tomorrow we start our exercise with composite and inverse function. So for this lecture, this much is enough. Thank you very much.